So good afternoon, everyone. In last lecture, we have seen what is meant by overcurrent relay. This overcurrent relay is the relay which operates when current in the circuit limits its set value. Okay, means suppose the current is set at 10 ampere, and if that value is crossed, then this overcurrent relay will operate there. Okay, means that is called the overcurrent relay. So from the time of operation, there are different types of these relays. That is the instantaneous overcurrent relay. Means when any fault is occurring at that instant only, the relay will operate. That is called the instantaneous overcurrent relay. Then definite time overcurrent relay means after occurrence of any fault, some or a particular time provided, a definite time is given, and after that, the relay will operate. That is the definite time overcurrent relay. Then inverse time overcurrent relay means this relay operates as a normal characteristic. Means if the current increases, your time of operation for the relay decreases. Means that is the inverse time current characteristic. That is called the inverse time overcurrent relay. Then fourth one is the inverse definite minimum time overcurrent relay. Means again it is inverse IDMT type of relay. Okay, this is very famous. That is IDMT type relay, inverse definite minimum time relay. Okay, means again it is a inverse characteristic, but for this a fixed time is provided there. Then very inverse definite time overcurrent relay means if again if the current value is high, okay, then how fastly that relay is operating, that is the these all characteristics we have seen in last lecture. This is for inverse time. This is definite time, means some particular time is provided. After that, the relay will operate. And here, all characteristics are shown. Okay. After that, we have seen the earth fault and phase fault relays. What is mean by this earth fault and phase fault? So, earth fault is the fault which contains the term ground or earth. For example, there are different types of faults, that is single line to ground fault, line to line fault, and double line to ground fault. These are the major faults which are oftenly occurring in the power system. So, this first, that is earth fault, is nothing but the fault that is the phase to ground fault or uh, uh, double line to ground fault, means line to ground or double line to ground faults. These are the earth faults. Okay, and the phase faults are line to line fault. Okay, means if the fault is occurred between any two phases, okay, between any two phases, then that is called the phase fault. Okay, and the relays used for such fault protections are nothing but the earth fault and phase fault relays. Now they are having the same principle. Same principle means working principle is same, and they differ only in current levels. Okay, means working principle is whatever used for the overcurrent relays. Okay, means that is the same is used for these relays also. That is the earth fault and phase fault. Means there is a production of torque. Okay, there is a production of torque uh, uh, by producing the fluxes the circuit breaker or the relay contacts. Okay, so here the working principle is same and they differ only in current level. So if we are considering the earth faults, that is the line to ground and double line to ground faults, that time the current level is low there. Okay, current level is low, but for phase to phase fault, okay, that is the line to line fault, there uh, the current is high. Okay, remember for earth fault, current is low. Okay, for earth fault, current is low. For earth fault, current is low, and for phase fault, current is high. So remember this. Okay, current level is high. Okay. So now first we'll see this earth fault protective scheme or earth fault. Actually, these relays, earth fault relays, are used only for the faults which are line to ground and double line to ground faults. Means these are not related to only the transmission line, but for different devices also, means for different equipments also, there may be such type of faults. That is, if we take the transformer or if we take any alternator, etc. So there may also be the earth faults. Okay, so in general, here we are taking the earth fault here. Okay, so here this earth fault, actually when we are considering that earth fault is occurring, that time it is due to the current. How we can say that that fault is occurred? Okay, how because when we are considering the three phases here, A, B and C are the three phases, and currents are IA, IB and IC. Okay, that is the current flowing through the three phases. Okay, and here a relay is there. You can see the relay is used here, and these are the CTs, that is the current transformers, which are which is one of the part of the relay. Okay, means by using this only we are taking the supply from the transmission line. Okay, and when we are considering that uh, there is no fault. Okay, there is no fault. So that time the whatever be the sum of current, that is IA plus IB plus IC, is equal to 0. So that is showing your balanced condition. You studied the symmetrical faults, unsymmetrical faults. Okay, balanced, imbalanced condition. So here when the sum of these three currents is equal to 0, okay, is equal to 0, that time there is no fault occurred in the system. Okay, so here first we'll see what is mean by this residual current. So anyone knows residual current? Residual current? Yes. Okay, so if we are considering our normal current, so when that current will flow, when we are giving supply, okay, then only that current will flow, right? But what is this residual current? So when the current is flowing, it is okay. But uh, when we are cutting the supply, okay, means when the supply is cut, then also the current is flowing in the circuit. Okay, due to the heat. Okay, so that is nothing but the residual current. Okay, and if that residual current, the sum of that residual current is equal to 0. Okay, if the sum of that residual currents is equal to 0, then your circuit is protected, means it is under normal operating condition. Okay, and if any earth fault occurs, okay, that may be line to ground or line to ground fault. If any type of earth fault occurs, that time the sum of these residual currents is not equal to 0, means the system becomes unbalanced there. Okay, so under balance condition, sum of all three currents is equal to 0. But when there will be a fault occurring in the circuit, okay, equal to 0. Okay, so it operates only in earth faults. Okay, so this relay, okay, this relay will operate only in the earth faults, means if if the current flowing in one of the line is more or less, or if it is imbalanced, then only this relay will operate. Okay, then earth fault current depends on fault impedance. Okay, so that current is dependent on the impedance, because when we are considering any circuit, okay, any circuit, uh, that we are connecting the or we are doing earthing, so that earthing may be of any type. Okay, we can solidly ground that, or we can simply use the earth resistance there. Okay, so whatever be the value of that earth resistance, that is nothing but the uh, impedance, if when we are considering the AC circuit. Okay, so on that only your fault current will depend. Okay, so if it is more, okay, if the impedance is more, then of course your fault current will be less there. Okay, the fault current will be less. And for this earth faults, for the earth fault relays, we can set the plug at 20% to 30%. Okay, all of you know we can set the value of current. Okay, for means at which point your relay should operate. So uh, we can set that value by using our plug position, or it is called the plug setting. So we can set this earth fault relay current value at 20 to 30%. Okay, then earth fault current is less than the phase fault current. Okay, as we have already seen, phase fault currents are more severe than the earth fault current. Okay, then here again the three phases are shown, and under balance condition, okay, under balance condition means when the residual current flowing in all three phases is same, means sum of all three currents is equal to 0, then your relay will not operate. But when any unbalanced current, or if any fault occurs, that current will flow through this neutral wire. Okay, and that is the phase to ground. Okay, so phase to ground, so it will operate the relay. So where actually this relay is connected? Where actually this relay is connected? Can anyone tell me? Yes. Where actually the relay is connected? In series with what? In series with any phase? Yes. In series with what? Any phase? Yes, in series with CT. But I want to know, in series means in between phase and earth. Yeah, in between any two phases.
Phase and earth.
Phase and earth. Correct. So remember, if any if such type of relay is asked, so while drawing the diagram, remember this where to connect the means CT and this relay. Okay, so noted the diagram. Can we proceed further? Note few points and diagrams. Okay, over. Uh, one more thing, I uploaded first chapter's notes, means not a handwritten, but notes are already uploaded 2 days back. So please solve assignment number 1. Everyone, solve assignment number 1 because our first chapter is already over. So solve that, and when you will submit me, I'll create the Google form today, and we'll share the link. So very few questions are there in assignment, and assignment is also uploaded on the drive. So you can collect that from drive and just solve these questions. And when will you submit me? Within how many days? Up to Thursday?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So today I will share the Google form. On that you can upload that assignment, because one by one you complete, then you will not have uh, a burden at last time only. Okay, over. We'll see the next point. Okay, then phase fault relay. Okay, phase fault relay means when we are considering any fault which is occurring between any two phases. Okay, when we are considering R, Y, and B phases, that time this fault can occur between any two phases, R, Y, Y, B, or B, R. Okay, that is called the phase fault. Okay, so what actually this phase fault relay does? Okay, means which types of faults we can consider here. So this phase fault relay monitors the phase sequence, phase loss, phase unbalance. Phase sequence means where whether the sequence is correct. RYB, if we are considering that sequence is correct or not, means the direction of the current. Then phase loss means if there is any breakdown of any line, okay, that phase get lost. That is called the phase loss. Then phase unbalance. Unbalance means what? Again, the current uh, is unbalanced, means the sum of currents is not equal to 0. Then over voltage and under voltage in three-phase electrical systems. Okay, if the voltage increases or decreases, then also there is considered as a fault. Okay, that over voltage or under voltage is more, means if any lightning stroke is there, that time also the voltage get increased. Okay, so that is called the over voltage. So such types of faults may occur, that are the phase faults, and for that purpose these phase fault relays are used. Okay, so these phase fault relays are also known as phase failure relays, or phase protection relay, phase control relay, line monitoring relay, or phase monitoring relays. Okay, so there are different names for these relays. Then the basic function is to receive input signal and determine them. Okay, so basic function of this relay is to take the input, okay, input signals, that fault is occurred or not, and determine them. Okay, then if a preset value is reached, and output contact will change its position. Okay, means there is a preset value. Okay, we are setting the current at if this value is reached, your relay will operate. Okay, means if the preset value is reached, the output contacts will change the position, means your normally open contacts get closed there. For the relay, the contacts are normally closed, normally open, and they get closed. Okay, and this contact output is connected to devices such as contactors and switches that can open the circuit. Okay, or an alarm output is sent to the PLC. So here one diagram is shown. So here we are considering a single motor we are considering, and this is your basic relay circuit diagram. Okay, uh, s- uh, and this is important because whatever equipments we are considering, or any system or any circuit we are considering, for all your this relay basic circuit diagram will be same. Okay, only your circuit or your device will change there. Okay, now here we are considering one motor. Okay, then this is the three phase supply, and this is your circuit breaker, and these are the contactors. Okay, this is your circuit breaker, and these are the contacts. Then this is your relay. Okay, this is your relay, and this is the three phase voltage. By using current transformer or potential transformer, it is given to the relay circuit. Okay, now if any fault will occur in this motor, this it will be sensed by this potential transformer or current transformer, means then whatever be the current flowing through that CT or PT in the secondary coil, that is nothing but the relay coil. So if that current is more or equal to that preset value, then your relay will operate. So when that relay operates, that time these contacts get closed here. Okay, these relay contacts get closed here, and it completes the circuit. And when it completes the circuit, that time uh, uh, it operates the circuit breaker. Here there is a circuit breaker. So this circuit breaker operates, means the normally open contacts, these contacts are normally open, these contacts get uh, closed here. Sorry, for circuit breaker, the contacts are normally closed. These contacts are normally closed. They get open here, means this faulty section get disconnected from the supply system. Okay, faulty section get disconnected from the supply system. So here again the same system is shown. Here the phase sequence is changed, L1, L2 and L3. So that is just like your R, Y and B. So if the phase sequence changes, means R is given to B and B phase is connected to R, means if the phase sequence is changed, or if there is a phase loss, means as I told you, means if there is a disconnection of any phase, okay, phase is lost, that time the fault will occur. Okay, that time the fault will occur. So your relay will operate there and it will give alarm to the uh, means to the PLC. Okay, so that is your uh, that is your alarm circuit. Now the same motor is used here, and this is the inverter unit, and this is your relay. Okay, so phase sequence, phase loss, relay is there. So for different types of faults, different relays are used. So here the phase fault relay is used. Okay, so this is the phase fault relay. Then there are some advantages of this phase fault relay. That is, it increases the motor lifetime. So if fault is occurring in the motor, then if the relay detects that fault and disconnects that faulty section, means it will protect the motor and it will also increase the life of motor. Because if the fault is occurring, then its winding get damaged, okay, which is costly. So its life increases, then it reduces maintenance and repair costs of motors. Okay, so repair and maintenance cost is decreased, and also if the fault occurs, we have to change. Means if there will be uh, if any motor will break there, that time uh, we have to replace that motor. So here it is not necessary. Then avoids the risk of electric shock or fire due to short circuit of the motor windings. Okay, means if the face to face fault occurs, if or means that is a short circuit, that is nothing but short circuit between the two phases. So it will avoid the risk of electric shock and fire. Then it increases the safety of electrical circuit. Okay, so these are the advantages of the phase fault relays. Okay, so all of you understood what is phase fault relay and what is earth fault relay. For earth fault, remember we are considering the line to ground or double line to ground faults only, means which contains the earth or ground term. Okay, and in phase fault, fault is occurring between any two phases. Okay, now the important point, that is the directional relays. Okay, directional relay. Okay, so what is mean by this directional relay? So can anyone tell me what is mean by directional relay? Directional relay. So directional relay, its name is saying that, just wait for a minute. Hello. So the directional earth fault relay means what? Its name is saying that there is a one direction only. Okay, directional means they require a single direction. Okay, so here the directional earth fault relay is used to protect the transformer, generator, alternator from the overcurrent fault. Okay, so we can use this because this relay is costly. That's why for only important machines these relays are used. Okay, so this relay actually operates in only one direction, means when the current is flowing in only one direction, then and then only this relay will operate. Okay, so the relay sends the fault current in only one direction. Okay, and the relay does not operate when the current flows in opposite direction. Okay, so if the direction of current changes, suppose if any fault is occurring, so current flows in any direction, that time this relay uh, uh, this relay will not operate if the current is flowing in any direction. Okay, so when the current is flowing in a one direction only, then and then only the relay will operate. And due to high cost used only for sensitive electrical machines such as alternator and high voltage transmission lines. Okay, so its cost is very high because we are using their two circuits. Okay, therefore its cost is very high. Therefore we are using this relay, directional relay, for the sensitive electrical machines like alternator and high voltage transmission lines. Okay, now uh, induction time directional overcurrent relay. Okay, so here you can see this is the diagram of this induction type directional overcurrent relay. So it consists of one directional element and another is the non-directional element. That is, it is also called the overcurrent element. So everyone first take the screenshot or for a diagram because more time will be required. So here uh, it consists of two elements. First is the directional element, this much, and another is the non-directional element, or it is also called the overcurrent element. Now, how actually it operates, we'll see. Okay, so here we have already seen that uh, which type of relay was there, where this diagram was there, only a one part. Which relay we have seen? Yes?
Direction relay.
Yes. No. We have seen electromechanical relays. Electromechanical relays, in that we have seen different types: induction, curb type. Yes?
Watt hour meter.
Yes, correct. That is the watt hour meter, or it is also called the induction disk type relay. Okay, so there we used only a single circuit. Okay, we use only a single circuit where there was a current transformer and this coil is connected as a primary, and there was this is the secondary. Okay, and whatever output we get here, that was given to the trip circuit. Okay, whatever torque will be produced due to the fluxes produced by these two electromagnets, then it will rotate the disk and close the contacts of your relay, and your relay will operate there. Okay, likewise the operation was there, but now here there are two circuits. Okay, you can see here there are two circuits. So that is directional element and non-directional element. Now here, this is the first electromagnet, and this is C type. This is E type, and U-shaped electromagnet is there. So here, primary from the potential transformer, the primary winding is connected here. Okay, this is the potential coil. Then the flux will set here. Okay, when current will flow through this, the flux phi1 will set here. Okay, phi1 will set here. Then due to the electromagnetic action, then current will flow through the secondary also. Okay, so here also it is connected to the CT, means your CT is connected here. First we'll see the construction. Okay, the current transformer coil is connected here, that is current coil is there. Then in series, then it is connected to the secondary element, that is the overcurrent element or non-directional element. Okay, here you can see. Then actually the X and Y terminals, okay, X and Y terminals of this 1 and 2, okay, or you can say the X and Y terminals only. So these are connected here. Okay, here. Okay, this is your second terminal. Means first potential transformer is connected here. Then CT supply is given to this U-shaped coil. Okay, that is the secondary side. That is your secondary side. So then this CT is also connected to the secondary circuit, that is secondary element. Okay, then it is whatever be the contacts, trip contacts are connected to the secondary circuit of the secondary element here. Okay, and through the primary again to the Y terminal or second terminal here. Okay, so means this circuit is interconnected. Means what I want to say, when this circuit will operate, then and then only the secondary circuit is going to operate here. Okay, so how actually we'll see. Okay, so when the current will flow through this potential coil or primary, then it will set flux. Okay, it will set flux in the primary. Then due to electromagnetic action, the flux will be set in the secondary. That flux is phi2, and due to interaction between these two fluxes, the torque will be produced. Okay, and that torque will operate this disc, and the relay contacts will be closed. Okay, so this is when. Okay, this is when. So here there are two elements. First is the directional element, and second is the non-directional element. So this is the directional element. Directional element means what? When current is flowing in only one direction. When current is flowing in only one direction, then your second side or this non-directional element will not operate. Okay, it will not operate. So when it will operate, when the current when this so when this non-directional element will operate, when these two contacts, 1 and 2 contacts get closed here, then and then only supply will be given to this secondary element or the non-directional element. Otherwise, there is no source for this second element, because for its primary, you can give supply through the CT. Okay, by using CT to the primary, we can give supply here. But for operating the second coil, means to produce flux in the secondary, uh, uh, this contact should be closed, then and then only it will produce the flux. Okay, and the contacts of this secondary circuit will be closed there. Okay, to trip the circuit here. Okay, so here first we'll see the directional element. That is this part only. Okay, this part only, the directional element. So it operates when power flows in specific direction. Okay, power flows in specific direction means what? The power is flowing in only one direction. Okay, and if the current is flowing in any other direction or in opposite direction, that element will not operate. Okay, then the trip contacts of the directional element are connected in series with the secondary of the overcurrent element. Okay, so that is shown here. The contacts means these are the tripping contacts. These are connected to the secondary circuit of this element. Okay. Then, therefore, the latter element cannot start to operate until its secondary circuit is completed. Okay. Means when when supply is given from this current transformer, its CT coil is connected to the primary, right? So no problem. The current is flowing through this and it will set the flux. But what about secondary? Because secondary circuit is connected to the trip coil. Okay, here to the contact number 1, it is connected here. So contact number 1 and here to the 2. Okay, so to the trip circuit, this secondary coil is connected. So when only these two contacts get closed, okay, then only your secondary will operate. Means it will set the flux when current is flowing through the secondary. Okay, otherwise your secondary will not operate there. Okay, so the latter element cannot start to operate until its secondary circuit is completed. Okay, so in other words, the directional element must operate first. Okay, means the first element should operate first, that is contacts 1 and 2 should close in order to operate the overcurrent element. Okay, so here first your these two, that is the X and Y or 1 and 2 contacts should be closed here first, then only your overcurrent element will operate. So actually this directional element is used for the protection purpose. Okay, again for the protection purpose, means when this overcurrent relay will operate when its contacts will get closed only. Okay, means very several faults will occur there. Okay, because when we are using for the transmission lines and alternators, so for that that purpose, when we are considering the transmission lines, very high voltage and currents are there, therefore we are using these directional relays. Okay, now the non-directional element. Okay, so here when the short circuit occurs, there is a tendency for the current or power to flow in reverse direction. Okay, so if the short circuit is occurring, okay, if the short circuit fault is there, that time that current direction gets changes, and this relay how then it will operate. Okay, the non-directional element, the disk of the upper element rotates to bridge the fixed contacts 1 and 2, and this completes the circuit for overcurrent element. Okay, so here when any fault will occur, so any fault will occur, that time these contacts get closed here, and the current will flow through the secondary, and when that current will flow through the secondary, again it will set the flux, and again the combination of these two fluxes will produce the torque, and this relay will operate, and it will give supply to the circuit breaker. Okay, so this is the function of your induction type directional overcurrent relay. Okay, so got it. Actually, there are different types of relays. Again, we'll see. So here only we are seeing what is mean by directional overcurrent relay. Actually, when we are going to start our the relays used for transformers, relays used for alternators, then generators, etc., and transmission lines, that time you will actually know how these are used. So here we are only seeing the what types of relays are there. Okay, in the first two chapters, we are just checking the relays, which are the types of relays, and how actually these are used, and what is the working. Okay, how actually they operate. So here different types of relays we'll see. So I hope everybody understood this. Yes or no? समजलंय का? समजलंय का? Yes or no? Shraddha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for today we'll stop here. In next lecture we'll see the block diagram for static overcurrent relay. Then there are distance relays, move relays, reactance relays. So we'll see that. Okay. So for today we'll stop. Thank you all and have a nice day. And one more thing I will mention again, that is the assignment notes of first chapter uploaded. So everybody solve assignment number 1, which is also on drive, and submit it up to coming Thursday. Okay, so thank you all and have a nice day. Thank you.